Today is December 11th, 2025, and today I want to talk about discipline and controlling your sexual energy, especially to the fellas, but it can go for anybody in life. I was reading this book called Think and Grow Rich, and it surprised me when it had a chapter about sex. Sex is such a word that, antennas go up like, what? Especially in a book called Think and Grow Rich. You didn't think it would apply to that, but it's deep. It gets deep. It has a chapter talking about sex transmutation, and that's really like just transferring your sexual energy into something positive, not withholding it, but using that energy to push something that's gonna get you to a higher level. You know, I know it talks about like for men, a lot of us don't get right till we about 40. Because we spend our youth chasing tail, instead of really chasing something of significance so that we can be all right. I'm not even to be too negative. I don't like talking too much on nobody's situation, but I got to give the Michigan head coach, it relates to him in this as far as just controlling your desires. Shannon Moore, he's the Michigan head coach, or was the Michigan head coach. He's fired immediately. So it's serious. The man went from worrying about facing Michigan State to facing the state of Michigan. Unfortunately, it got that deep. And whatever it did, it had to do with relations with somebody on the staff, and it got crazy. And he has a mugshot and everything, so it got deep, And that's a brother I don't like to talk too down on the brother at all, but he an adult, and it is what it is. you know. Stupidity doesn't discriminate, and unfortunately, instead of he using his burning desire to have Michigan going to play for a bowl game, the or not even a bowl game, but just going into the championship, instead of using that energy just to have a better team. How about that? He used it in a way that has him fired as a head coach from a really good job. We can even go into Diddy, freak offs. That's a lot of sexual energy used in the wrong place. He could have probably found the next Biggie Smalls or something with that type of energy. With the energy he started Bad Boy with, he didn't keep, he let it, he was, I'll put it like this. You can have discipline on the field, you can have discipline in the gym, you can have discipline in any field that you in as far as just what you do to make your money. But if you don't have discipline with your desires, it would ruin everything. If you can't control your urges for sex, for drinking, for all the vices that can really lead to negativity, eventually negativity will overpower what you have going on. I mean, I seen it with my own eyes. I'm gonna relate it back to me. I had a really good job. You hear me? I was making about 100K a year, and you know, I became more of what I was with the more money I had. I think that's just what it is. You become more of what you are with the money gets higher. So I'm turning up every weekend. See, I had desires. I had things that I really wanted to go for. I'm a poet. I like music. I was doing my thing with the music. And I think I was having a pretty decent little run. But I lost focus. Going to the studio, getting drunk, can't complete songs, leaving work to go kick it with chicks and drink with them. And it all caught up with me. And eventually I found myself broke, no car, no nothing. Slowly. It don't happen overnight. See, a lot of things, we see the big thing. Like what happened with the Michigan State, with the Michigan coach, is something that has been slowly building up his whole life. And now we see the big bang. You hear me? A lot of things, it's a build up, but the big bang is what you only see. I've been had a problem. The best data I have is my phone. My iPhone has all my moves since 2015, and it slowly shows my, inevitable decline of drinking, having fun, to drinking, being sloppy, to my body not looking right, my eyes looking crazy. I just I wasn't who I could be. I wasn't the best version I could be. Like right now, I'm still not the best version I could be, but every day I'm waking up trying to be the best version. And I do that by staying sober, staying on point. My mind is focused. See, the mind is bigger than all of this. You hear me? If this ain't right, this won't be right. I worked out, but this wasn't right. So when it comes down to just, and I'm talking to a lot of the fellas, controlling your desires, that sexual energy. A lot of us spend a lot of time on dating apps, chasing women, and I'm gonna put it back to me. When I was messed up, I still wanted women. I ain't had nothing. You feel me? And I still was chasing women. If I put which I did, put that same energy into, if I at that time had put all my energy into something that really would have meant something, I would have been a lot further. But hey, if was a fifth, you hear me? I would have still been a drunk. You get what I'm saying? Everything's about now, and every day is a new day that I can make something happen so that I can rebuild my life and be a better man than I've been the last few years. I'm a hustler, baby. I just want you to know it ain't where I've been, but where I'm about to go. That's real facts. And fellas, I just want to say, control your sexual urges, lust, all that. That's quick dopamine, and quick dopamine is a way to fall off, a quick high. See, having delayed gratification, that's what the gym has taught me. Delayed gratification. You know what I'm saying? You don't get like this in 1 month. This took a year and 4 months of sobriety to build. And I still amaze myself sometimes when I look in the mirror like, damn, bro, you snapped. But this is more than just the fitness. See, my life is leveling up. Everything's slowly building up. And if you just stick along, you finna see that. I got money invested. I'm doing stock market stuff. I'm building my brand, feeling focused. And slowly but surely, Big Ron finna be back. You hear me? But I'm gonna wrap it up and say this. Brothers, sisters, every human that's watching, control your desires, your vices, and I know it can be tough. It's easier said than done. But if you move with real intent and lock in and focus all that energy into something that's really gonna mean something, you will not regret it. Simple as that.